And look, and we're definitely going to get entertained because our first matchup, Noble versus Rated R, we're putting that sucker on the grill first. We got the flat top nice and hot. We put down some olive oil for each and every one of you at home. And we're going to start breaking these teams down. We're going to start letting you guys in on a little secret about how both of these rosters kind of like to play, how you kind of see them formulate themselves around the map. Let's take a look first at Rated R. They have really put together a hell of a roster, a kind of a mishmash of very young, talented players who have come from a lot of different backgrounds and different teams across the league. But I mean, that roster definitely stands out to me with the ability, just the sheer raw talent they have on that roster, Blaze. And I don't think I'll find a disagreement in you.
Nah, you definitely won't, man. Pale and Cellz are two players that you got to respect on the field because they'll be making big plays for their team. Also on the flip end, Yachty, Scavzy, core members here of the squad. And also when you talk about needing them to fill in lane, support for their teammates, even slay out, these guys have been around the block for a few times, Colin, and they can definitely do that. So I'm excited to see how they're going to evolve throughout this pro league because as we know, you have to play every single squad once. So by the time we get towards the end of it all, we'll see if they're at the top or if they may be one of the teams getting relegated.
And well, if you want to talk about evolution and adapting or dying, let's take a look at this new look Noble team. And the only real new look you've got on it, no more Toady. They pick up the fifth player from Vanquish, the one that was dropped after the World Championship. He comes over to Noble. Reptilian joins Lava, Gearies, and Xysho. And I really like that pickup. Look, Lava's going to continue to kind of be that standout IGL. He's going to be able to make play calls. He's going to be able to make shot calls. We all saw how talented Xysho and Gearies can be. And of course, Reptilian, he's coming off of a championship victory. So he's going to be a little bit of extra experience, and he's definitely going to bring a calm to this team in a lot of high-pressure situations, and I expect them to perform very well.
Oh, man, I think they can definitely perform very, very well indeed. You talked about the players who were formerly on the Noble roster. Abolix is gone. Also, Toady is gone. He'll be on Fire and Ice. So Reptilian being a fourth for this team. He is a defending champion from our last major. Unfortunately, he got dropped from VQ because we did move on over towards 4v4, but Reptilian is looking to prove something. I already got a chance to cast him in Astro 2v2 where he had to play against his old teammates in a Cellz and handles, and he put in work, Colin. He was not messing around with those boys, took them out quickly. And from that, even just watching that matchup, it just showed that Reptilian is out to prove something this season and prove that he shouldn't have been the one to get dropped from that VQ roster and that he can still be at the top.
That always makes a player a little bit more dangerous when they've got that extra chip on their shoulder. I mean, you've already got Gears, which makes everybody have a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove they're the best. They want to go up against their friends. They want to go up against their family members at sometimes and be able to prove that they're the best in the world. Well, now he's got dropped from a championship team, and he gets to go out with three players who are very talented and highly qualified to make some big runs. So I can't wait to see how that team plays out. But now we've got to see what maps they've decided to fight this war on. We have our pick and bans for all of you at home. And as you take a look at this, Blaze, give me your initial thoughts when you see it.
My initial thought is that Noble, they got their bread and butter when it comes down to training grounds. This is a map in which this squad is super good on. You've even seen them revolutionize the weapon placements at some point, put a claw down. Now, with it being 4v4 and a few changes happening in the escalation and the weapon placement system, I think they get stronger on that map because this is a squad that is really good with the secondaries and they have very good team fire. So great first map for Noble. Now, on the flip end, Rated R, they're going to District. District tells me that we're going to be seeing a lot of big team fights. 3-man rushes, 4-man rushes towards Cinema and Bandstand. And Rated R seems like a team that want to wolf pack around and fight for each other and die next to each other if so be it. But can't wait to see them play that one. And if we go to Distance Harbor, one of the new maps added to the cycle, and it's going to be exciting to see how both these teams are going to play on that one.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Blaze breaking it down so eloquently and so picture perfectly for all of you. We've got maps that both teams seem to favor. So now we're going to go back to an old favorite of the community, something that a lot of people got laughs at on Twitter. We got a lot of banter in the DM about this. I know the group chat stayed on fire most of Pro League. It's predictions time, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, I got to throw myself under the bus first and foremost. I got to be the sacrificial lamb to go ahead and get hatred from whatever fan base I don't pick, which is fine. I don't mind wearing that backpack. We got Noble, we got Rated R. And I really love to see Rated R coming out of those challengers, really playing to the best of their ability and doing as much as they can. But I'm going to pick Noble in this first matchup. There is just something about Reptilian that I absolutely love. Every time he's on the screen, he electrifies it. And of course, I mean, a fellow Virginian, I can't go against Lava. You really expect me to pick against my man?
Nah, you can't pick against Lava, right? All right, so now these predictions I was looking at, I said Noble, Rated R. So difficult, kind of. You know, I got to go with experience, all right? I have to go with Noble in this pick. Reason being, even though I think that Tody made Noble a better team tenfold, okay? Abolix, I thought he was a great piece of the squad. He was with the core squad of this team. But even with both of them gone, they still get a lot of slaying power and a lot of communication and some teamwork coming out of Reptile. And I think this Noble team is still going to be a great squad this season. I think they get better from last season. They definitely have the potential to. And because of that, and Radar being the newest team in the league, I think Noble is going to give them a warm introduction.
Well, we'll see if they will. But first and foremost, we need to find out in the chat, who did you go with? Was it Noble? Was it Rated R? And there we go. Helmets across the board. 3 of a kind. Only thing that could beat us is like a royal flush, maybe. I mean, it's going to have to be some, because we got a pretty good poker hand going right now with all 3 of us in sync with the Noble pick, but we have to wait no longer, ladies and gentlemen. I have gotten the word of God in my ear. The match is starting, so we are going to be getting into that matchup, into all that action as soon as we physically can. Jump into map number 1. And Blaze, you talked about it. You said their bread and butter is first and foremost. It's training grounds. Does that add pressure to the side of Noble? Does that make this map 1 that much more important to them? Or is it one of those things where the pressure is on Rated R to have to come out and play on Noble's map 1? How would you look at it as a competitor?
Oh, I think Noble should be sitting very comfortably. If I'm on the side of Noble, Rated R should be very fearful of them, that they have to play them on the map in which we've seen Noble push some of the best teams to the wire doing championship series, doing major weekends on training grounds. Rated R, this is their debut, okay? They have to go out there and prove to us that they belong to be in a pro league, because we know it's teams in the Challenger Series. We know it's players out there that didn't qualify that's looking like, I could take their spot, okay? I can go out there. I can do better than these guys. So we're all looking at Rated R. And Rated R, now is the time to show us how composed you are and that you're ready for the big stage here at Gearies Esports.
Hey, look, we're all looking at Rated R for a couple of different reasons right now. We said that we were going to be able to go into map number 1. I got hype. I know you were getting hype, but we had a little reset. So we're all not just looking at Rated R. We're looking specifically at Yachty, because he was the one with the lobby reset. So right now, Yachty, you better come out, go like 10-0 across 2 rounds and make up for all of that delay, because there's no way all these people in the chat are going to be able to forgive you for making that reset. But immediately, 3v3 down there at the U side of the map, 1v1 over the B hill, just waiting to see who wins this initial fight. Flashes out from both teams. Nobody really steps up. Gearies was kind of being a little reckless right there, standing straight up, giving his positioning away, but Gearies with 1, Gearies with a 2nd already. Now it is a 4v2 on the map. You can see the hills starting to go in favor of Noble. They're going to try to set up with a 2-to-1 hill advantage, maybe try to put the pressure on Rated R. Here comes the triple cap domination being threatened. Cellz is going to get to the back of the B hill. There's going to be 3 people there as well, and the back game from Cellz will take out Lava. Home-to-home split for Noble. Is that really a viable strategy here on training grounds?
Yeah, it's a viable strategy as long as you got 2 hills and you're getting those points, Colin. It would have been a trip cap domination if it wasn't for Scavzy having that presence of mind to leave the fight and help his teammate Cellz over at the B hill so he can keep his team in this round. Now with Noble having a setup, they got overlook control, multiple players on Rated R's home hill. This setup is working wonders for him. Pale needs a prayer to get that kill. And with Lava picking up the last one there, he's going to transition over towards his B hill. His teammates are going to fortify their opponent's home hill, and it should be an early trip cap domination, but I don't want to speak too soon because it will be a 3v2 for control of A.
Right now, you can see the flashbang out from Scavzy. He's going to go in, get that first touch. There's the extra 2 men on the hill. And 2 members of Noble have thrown their lives away right now. So you're up about 90 points or so. But right here, Rated R, they've got to fly. They've got to find the weak spot. It's a 1v1 on both sides of the map, so technically they could take either of them in a 2v1, try to win a quick fight. There's an easy down on a Scavzy. Pell has to rotate back, get the revive. That's going to buy some time, buy that extra man an advantage to come back off spawn. They're going to give up the B hill. I fully expect to see them actually turtle up a little bit, try to get 1 or 2 of these kills, and try to force Rated R to fly to their home and make that last decap. And right now, it looks like that's exactly what they're doing, crossing the 215-point threshold. You could see Rated R down over 100 points. Xysho's going to possibly go for a touch right here, which is going to make it that much harder with the down on Cellz. Ladies and gentlemen, our very first round of Gears Pro League for this split number 2 is looking like it's going to go the way of Noble.
Yeah, it's looking like that indeed. Great effort to Rated R for staying in this round as long as they did, but they can never fully control a 2-hill setup. And that's the start of you winning the round and you possibly even dominating your teammates. So they couldn't get past that first step. Noble did a great job rotating the map and fighting these battles and playing their numbers. So we'll see going off this initial, will the boys here of Rated R get off to a better start? Because if you look at that last initial, they sent 2 players on Overlook on the cog side of the map, which is the right side, currently the Swarm side, but they're playing off the left hand there. I would have much rather seen them try to use that right hand advantage at you, try to catch that one member off guard down there and play for those kills. But with them being on the bad side, they're gonna have to play a little bit more defensively. And as we're seeing, Noble choosing to put most of their numbers over towards the B hill with a quick capture and a lot of aggression to push back Cellz. They're gonna control this whole side of the map, and they're looking good. They got to defend their home hill soon though.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with you, Blaze, real quick. After the first shot onto Cellz, he's a little red, but he's not going to go down. He's actually going to back out, try to save his life. Gearies now has to pressure that fight as well. Cellz, if he wins both of these fights, that's going to be big time for the side of Rated R, but he will fall. Noble's going to go for that possible home and mid-neutral split. Rated R, they have to be careful. The Lancer fire very strong. Double Lancer down. They're going to get Scavzy down as well. They're going to get the pickup. Here comes 3 members of Noble into this next fight. There's a double. Oh, no, not even a double down. Just a full spread and a shot on and a death. Pell has to back out for just a moment, try to reset the fight here. They need to get this kill quickly, try to rotate somebody over to Gearies to try to help him. They get that kill. And real quick, Blaze, I just want to point out to everybody at home, when you see that you're mirrored on that first round, and then you come into the second round and your opponent throws not just a monkey wrench at you, but they cover all 3 lanes. They even sent Lava the distance across that back hallway to protect him at B. That's what 4v4 brings to the table. You're able to rotate around the map. You're able to take a little bit of a different angle, maybe even switch up your strats that much more. Not having that security blanket, not having that 5th player allows you to play a much different style of escalation. It allows you to have team identity, and that's just one of the things I'm so excited to see play out the rest of this quarter.
Yo, very well said, Colin. I'm excited for that too as well. That extra guy off the map opens up a few more lanes and opens up the strat book for a lot of these squads. Now, currently, we see Noble with a 2-to-1 hill advantage. They got 1 player top Overlook. Gearies connects with a great shot, turns around and gets the double. That's going to be 3 members down on the side of Rated R and Pale. Night. As Gearies decaps the home hill. He's going to lock in the second round here for Noble.
They are on to a hot start. Noble, even though it looked like it might have gotten a little shaky when they lost their home hill, I was thoroughly impressed with the way that Noble came off spawn. And that's one of the things, again, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record with how great 4v4 is for Gears in general. When you're able to come off spawn and you're able to understand the Lancer angle, get that double shot down where you're able to shoot with your teammate, that is a beautiful thing, because now you can't just line up with Nashers out and say, look, we're going to protect the home hill with bodies. No, you have to protect the home hill with angling, with your extra smoke maybe. You're going to have to rotate somebody into that overlook and shoot down as they come out of spawn at the DB depot. It's such beautiful tacticians that are going to start winning these rounds, and they're going to start shining through as we get deeper into the Pro League and you see more people get reps. But now we've got double retros. That thing is going to have so much stopping power, and it's going to put people on the back foot very quickly. But of course, it'll be a secondary weapon. They'll pick it up after that first wave of lives.
Yeah, they know that this team fight is super important to kick off this round, so they want as many members here as they can possibly get. Retro Lancer, it'd be nice, but more importantly, having your shotgun out, your Lancer, fighting for control, playing for your numbers is even better. Xysho doing a good job holding off 2 players. And these are 2 members here of Rated R playing off their left hand. They're also getting cross on the other side of heaven, but it's more of Rated R. That's going to be player number 5, Cellz. He has a great angle here for Yachty and Pale, pushing back these members of Noble. And a lot of action on the top portion of Overlook. And we got a 1v1 backside you. Reptile backs out. He's going to get it down after his teammate falls, but Scavzy ultimately loses his 1v1 against Reptile. In the end, his teams have numbers over here at Overlook. England out. Xysho is going to be the last play. He's trying to find a 1v1, but he's going to play his life, Colin.
And that's such a beautiful job by Xysho. He plays out, he gets out of that damage spot where he's almost going to go down there. I love the way he backs out. Now you see Yachty, he has to set up at the top Overlook. They pick up their retro. So Scavzy, he'll have it over there on the side of Rated R. Opposite end of the map, you're going to have Gearies with it in his hand, and they're going to be setting up at the Overlook. That retro is going to be able to sit you down very quickly. You're going to push up, and you're going to know when it's making contact. There's no way to mistake that for any other gun in the game. Gearies with a flash shot in his hand, though. You're going to have to throw the smoke. I love that play. Now you're going to have to rotate in, but look at the absolute accuracy from Scavzy. 2 downs and a quick cleanup, and now you see everybody else springing to life. It looks like this is going to be a Rated R round, because if they don't come away with these kills, they're still going to come away with a long time running, but a 2v3. Gearies, Lava, they win it. Now they spring into life, going home to home.
Now, Lava, you know, he's going to go with his teammate towards his opponent's home hill on the other side of the map and get that one decapped. We'll see once it's captured if the win condition at the top of the screen will shift over. It will not. So that means that they need to get the B hill. Rated R wins off of 1. B's getting decapped. 3v3 fight over at the home hill. That's a clutch revive for Noble. They're back in the mix here. Yachty, he has help from Pale. Xysho is going to scurry away. He does stay alive, and that's going to be good because he needs to be as close to this hill as possible. Beautiful back A. Going for the second kill. Don't even worry about the cleanup. He says, guys, I got this one locked in.
Call my man the custodian. Xysho is out here cleaning up messes on aisle 5, 6, and 7. It don't matter what's been spilt and by whose baby. He is mopping it up very beautifully. And there's the Lance of Fire I was talking about. Keeping multiple players down, having to go for these revives. All 4 players have to fly directly at the hill to try to get breaks. They are going to put on the pressure, though. Here comes the quick flank out. There's 2 kills. Going for a 3rd for Gearies, but there it is. The win condition is switched over. 10 seconds to go. Pell doesn't have enough time to get to any other hills. Noble pulls out round number 3 as well. This is a picture-perfect performance by them, and they are being scintillating sensational in the fashion that they are doing it. They are 2 rounds away, ladies and gentlemen, from taking map number 1, and I don't even know how you stop them at this point. I don't know if you throw a power weapon to try to change the fight, but whatever you're doing as Rated R, it's not working, my man. It's not working.
Oh, man, you know, beautiful teamwork there from Lava and Xysho in a 2v3 to get those kills, to overextend and really set that play up for their team. Gearies out of 3 rounds, 16 kills, 3 downs, and 3 deaths. I was casting Gearies during Astro battles, okay? He had a tall task against the Vexies in end zone. And in 2v2 and 4v4, as I explained in, I said it's a different ball game. You know, Gearies may have got slapped up a little bit, but if this was 4v4, you're going to really see his worth and why he is the player in which he is. And when it's 4v4 strategy, you bring those secondaries in, the teamwork, Geary shines, man, and he's putting in work for his team now.
It's absolutely beautiful work. Now they're going to go for the double cap here at the B hill. They've got 2 players on it. They're going to rotate out now. 2v1 here onto Cellz. Cellz has to be careful not to go down. Shots over the cover. The blindies will get 1. There's the down. He is full red, but the long-range wide angle taken by Gearies will save his teammate and get the kill. And now look at the setup. 2 men at the home, 2 men opposite side of the map at Rated R's heaven, and they're going to rotate back down into the B hill. They can actually set up to play full-on defense, if you ask me. And one of the things that I think is going to be really a pivotal talking point throughout the entire split is once you lose that 2-to-1 hill setup, you lose that initial, how are you at retakes? And it's not like I'm going to just throw away a life here or there. I'm not going to just push one side of the map heavy and then rotate somebody around. You've got to be picture perfect. You've got to use smokes to the best of your ability, because those are really making a resurgence with this 4v4 and the way that fights are now playing out.
Yeah, nah, it definitely plays a huge factor into that column. Now, back top Overlook, we're seeing that Scavzy and Pale, they love fighting that Overlook side, and Scavzy takes a big 1v2, and his squad is going to be able to push forward, get the decap on a home hill, and they do not want to let this round slip away. It should be no way in hell Noble wins this one. Rated R gets the first on the board.
come away with their first round on the board, and that's a good little start for them. They're going to get their feet under themselves. They're going to start being able to make comebacks. Once again, Noble goes with a little bit of a different initial. It comes back to bite them in the butt as they lose multiple members at their home. You have to over-rotate back there to try to get that secondary push. I want to see what they do, though. We're going to probably have that standardized. We're going to go shocks and then do the Boltox down there at the bottom half of the map, trying to set everything up. It's not really going to see a power weapon be placed until maybe later in the map, maybe until you're solidified with your utility grenades or somebody's just overwhelming and you have no other choice but to change the fight. Again, welcome to the second half of Training Grounds. We'll see that B hill turn into an E hill and flip from the range down there to that mid-U fight, as well as the homes. Go from the DB Depot and the Monument over there to the bottom half, those two heaven spots that we like to call them. And right now, that top heaven position over the top of the Overlook, that's going to be taken over by Noble. And looks like Rated R is going to go for a long-range home-to-home split, but they get shut down by the Lancer Fire.
Yeah, they took a weird route, Colin. They tried to push directly under the Overlook, and they realized that that wasn't the best possible play because the guy on top of the Overlook can Lancer down and get free shots, and they were already figured out. So the double back will work out to cut through middle. They end up capturing their opponent's home hill. Now, at this point, these guys for Rated R just need to lock in this location of the map, wait for their teammates to come off respawn. They'll fortify the other home hill, and then from there, get numbers. Figure out exactly where your opponent is. As we can see, 4 members are on this side of the map by the home hill, but the rest of the members from Rated R said, you know what? We want to rotate over. We want to capture E, but they need to get the decap at E right away because if they had numbers, Colin, they would have known it was 3 players on top of that home hill. Go get the decap, capture up, lock it in as soon as possible, and we're going to finally see them win that fight. They're going to have 1 hill to their name for now because their home hill is getting decapped.
And I was going to say, we almost switched spots right there where 3 members of Rated R were at the home hill in Noble, and now Noble has 3 players bottom side of the map. They've switched off now. Home-to-home stretch for Noble. You're going to see Reptile go down in the middle of the map. That's going to make it a 4v3 effectively for a moment until he comes back off a respawn. They need to find a kill, and they need to find one very quickly. Here comes Cellz and Pell from behind. They're trying to find anybody. Gearies is going to be first into the fight. He's got Pell very red and finally gets him chunked down and dead. But 2 players of Rated R, they win that fight very quickly. They're going to leave their home hill decapped for a moment. They're actually going to full send over here, and it's going to be a 3 versus 3. Lava is full red back you. He's going to go down. Nobody's in the area to get that kill or even the revive off on him. Now Xysho goes down, and it looks like leaving that home hill was the correct play because even though they didn't get the points on the board, they were able to rotate their resources around the map quick enough to help them win that mid-E fight and take their home back with the first person coming back off a respawn. That's brilliant mid-game strategy, and especially those mid-rotations, those little micro adjustments are going to help win them these things.
That's what we want to see out of Rated R. Because of that speed on the rotation, they got 2 heals locked in. They have a setup. They also have the win condition. They need to figure out exactly where their opponent's pushing from. And if they can get the numbers early, they got 3 players marked. They don't see the 4th. We see player 7 sneaking up on Pale. Will he react in time? He will not. Gearies makes a big play for his team, and he's going to protect their lead.
See Gearies trying to get this D hill back. There's the shock thrown a little bit to the left. It actually puts them out in no man's land. They were able to get Lancered out from multiple different angles. Cellz, he's got the snub in hand, gets the down. Not sure if he's going to be able to push up yet, though. They're actually going to push in Pell from the spawn. Cellz and a teammate up from that mid staircase. 1 goes down. It's going to be Yachty. Cellz is down as well. 2 people down inside of that hill, and it looks like they're going to just let their teammate get finished off here for just a moment. There we go. Geary, he's like, there you go, sir. Let me pick you up after I threw a shock at your feet. I know I was the one that put you down, so let me pick you back on up. That was a beautiful job. Noble, they fend off the final wave of the players from Rated R, and they take a 4-1 round count lead here in the very first map, and beautiful job so far. Blaze, one of the things that I want to point out to everybody at home, I know it's still on the scoreboard, but make no mistake about it, we have no more respawn counter, okay? There's no more respawn counter. You have infinite lives. You can come off spawn and die as much as you want.
Can we get that removed, and can we put damage in that position, please? Thank you. Can we get something useful there?
At Coalition Gears, at Coalition Gears.
You know, they probably annoying me because I've been asking for that one for years, all right? Because DPS is the #1 value when it comes down to properly assessing the performance of a Gears of War player on the map. But Rated R, man. They need to turn this one around. That last round hurt them, Colin. They should have won it. You see Pale, he springs into action, but the trap was set. He's luckily enough, he gets the revive on Yachty, so they both stay alive, and they can help their two teammates up top Overlook. Ultimately, with that revive coming through, they're going to win this fight.
I like this. Reptilian snuck over to the home hill. It's a switch of the last round. Now it's going to see Noble going home to home, trying to fend off anybody from Rated R, trying to retake their home. Meanwhile, you see Noble actually coming back off of respawn. Where will they rotate? How fast are they able to rotate? Reptilian, the longer he's alive, the harder he's going to make it on Rated R to come back off of respawn and get back over to that mid-E fight. You already see 3 people stacked up over here. Flashes out. One of them bounces right back into their face, so no stun on Pell. Yachty slides in for the backup and gets the kill. Pell with a long range down there on the L trigger from that shotty, and that's a good shot to the body. They get the downs, they get the kills, they're still solidified in their hills, and that point accumulation is going to get very scary here in the next 15 to 20 seconds. So Noble not just has to come off of respawn, they have to be very quick in how they work if they want to keep this round not getting out of hand necessarily. I think they're going to have to go the backside of the map. They're going to sneak one person over there to the monument, the DBD post side, just trying to pick up any intel that he can, go for any marks, maybe any flashes. I think they're trying to find out if that player is at Overlook. They're trying to spot who it is and how many are up there.
But you see the scouting from Noble, right? And this is super important. They are getting numbers so they can understand where they need to push and what's going to be the perfect play for their squad. And after they got the intel in which they needed, they spring into action, and they're going to push back Yachty on top Overlook. They managed to focus fire him down. Gearies is in the mix. He gets taken out there. And even though the push was looking good for Noble, Colin, Rated R slays them out. They should have no problem getting his last kill. They got to show Xysho some respect there on the back end. Don't want to lose any unnecessary team members there in that situation. And they're just going to keep holding this 2-to-1 hill setup.
Now we see Scavzy backside of that hallway, that long hall. He's got retro. Anybody that tries to come directly down that hall, I'm sorry, you're going to get shredded like my main man was in Office Space, and he is the paper shredder. There's one down. Clean up the second. He had some help over the top. Beautiful job by Yachty to Lancer down and try to get the help. Not in time. They weren't going to be able to make it anywhere. Rated R now will come back, get their second round onto the board. They are 3 rounds away. They have to be picture perfect for the rest of this map and be able to come away with this map number 1. I kind of want to see somebody change it up right here. Maybe put down a power weapon, maybe some frag grenades or some incendiaries in the middle of the map. Don't just allow this to kind of be mirrored out the rest of the game.
Yeah,
and I know we might not see it until 4-4, but by God, I want to see it earlier than that. I want to see people be able to put that pressure plays.
Yeah, and so far it's been just mirror matchups across the board. This could easily be 3-3. But you know, we saw Rated R let that 5th round kind of slip under their fingers there towards the end of it. One thing is they need to just make sure that they are getting these numbers early on. They're rotating, because Noble, they're doing a good job checking up in the beginning, but the flank comes through. 2 players, Pale and Reptile, both break off from a flank once they thought they were hidden. So they run into each other down low. So that's going to be a 3v3 fight up top. We see Reptile choosing to disengage from there. Yachty gets focused down. Cellz is stunned, so the revive can't come through. Scavzy trying to take one to the grave, but he's going to go alone. Well, I guess he'll have some company with his teammates there. Pale forced to fend off from this double push and doing a great job putting out damage, connecting with his back A's there, slowing down his opponents so his teammates can come off respawn, and he's going to get blessed with at least 1 kill.
He's going to come away with 1. He's full red still. Pell is going to have to stay up here at the heaven and try to help his teammates Lancer out. Cellz, you see him bouncing into the action over here at the E-Hill. Flashes are out. He's going to have to go after that player in the back corner, but beautiful Lancer work. They're going to get that first down. Second down comes through. You see him slide in to go for 1 kill. They finally pick up 1. All the damage and all the downs aren't going to matter for much, but there's the shot from Xysho. Will set down the second, and they'll get the 3rd kill. Beautiful job, Scavzy now in a 1v1 top heaven spot against Reptile. Double back bounce into the hill. That's a good little tricky strat right there. It's going to be able to get the retake going. They are going for the triple cap domination, and with 2 more seconds, Pell has to try to fly, but it's not going to be enough. He doesn't have wings. 5-2. We will see Noble win map number 1.
Man, Noble, they wasn't playing around, Colin. They set the tone early on. They did such a great job adjusting to what their opponent was throwing at them. Noble, they strike first.
They strike first. We're going to have to find out if they strike last as well, because, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to a quick commercial break between maps 1 and 2. Welcome back. Welcome back to Pro League, ladies and gentlemen. We have now officially got map 1 under our belts, and it was a picture-perfect map if you're a Noble fan, because they come out on top. They get that 5-round marker first, and they only drop 2 rounds to the side of Rated R, and it looks like the only time that Rated R really got under the skin of Noble was when Rated R could get up in their face and not allow them to kind of clean up those kills. All that extra damage that Noble was able to put out with their Lancers, all those extra downs, if you can get up in their face, you can kind of cause some chaos. Well, it doesn't really matter as much if you can keep getting the revives and keep them on the back foot. Am I right?
No, you are absolutely right there, Colin. Hell, you know, even if you saw the pressure there, Noble, they were able to successfully defend against that aggression there on the side, you know, on the side of Rated R there. But, you know, that's the type of squad that we know Noble is. We always praise them for their defensive gameplay as a unit, their teamwork. And that's something that really reigns supreme from them. But I would say that in that first map, they showed us their offensive gear, because we saw big plays from Xysho and Lava. And with it, the game coming back from 5v5 to 4v4, those players can get double kills with ease. And I think we're going to see a few more highlight moments from this Noble squad this split than we did the last.
We've got a big time chance for it as well in our next map. Look, if you thought Training Grounds could get a little cross heavy and you could find some angles to hit people and shoot people out, well, we're about to go into District, and we all know we've beat it like a dead horse. District has that big open window that overlooks the fountains in the mid-map area. So I'm just looking forward to seeing if Noble can get kind of the same setups, or if it's going to come back to bite them, that since that home hill is always capped off rip, you don't have to send anybody there now. If that comes back to kind of be the thing that haunts them, because now with Cinema and Bandstand being your 2 areas of contention, those are very small areas to fight around. That's a lot of CQC for them to deal with. So is this where Rated R finds their stride? Do they come back in this map number 2 because of that?
You know, they definitely can if they force these team fights off to start on District and they play their numbers. But District is also one of Noble's better maps as well. And then when you look at Harbor as a map number 3, how the 3-map cycle is played out, all 3 maps are kind of similar. Yes, you can have that CQC fight, right? That close quarters engagements, 3v3, shotguns out. You're playing for Winchester, you're playing for Cinema or Bandstand. And win that engagement, go off, get a trip cap domination, get map control. You know, you'll be sitting good. But all 3 of these maps are definitely teamwork heavy maps. They're cross heavy maps. The secondaries are going to have Hammer Burst, Botox, Retro Lancers, and we know that Noble can put those to good use. You know, Rated R, they got a tall task on their hands. I got to be honest, Colin. They lost map number 1. I think it's looking grim for them here in map number 2. I don't think we see the map 3. But if we do, they really have to slay out, play fast, and have some clear comms there.
Well, we're going to have to find out when we load up into District. Look, maybe, hopefully, my wish will come true, and we'll see Rated R think to themselves, we're winning those CQC fights. Let's put a dropper, a sniper, something that they have to kind of come and fight us over at the Cinema, maybe at the Bandstand. Try to make those fights happen a little bit earlier in the engagements rather than trying to just win that standard initial and then take over a power weapon like that. Maybe they throw a wrench in there. We'll have to find out, though, once we get into District. It's a very scenic map. I love kind of being able to take a look around it, but it's always covered in blood and guts when you get to play it in Gears Esports Pro League, because, I mean, everybody knows these are the best of the best. This is the cream of the crop. It rises to the top. And there's some of those gorgeous scenes I was talking about. And one of your favorite characters in history, he's starring in a movie right there at the Cinema, Jay Stratton.
Oh, man, Jay Stratton in the building. You know, I was hoping in Op 6 we got him, but, you know, we are going to get a legend back in the cycle. Hoffman's coming back to Gears of War. I know some of you players out there, I tweeted earlier, you guys are going to get just a little bit better, because there's some Hoffman mains out there who've been missing them, and as soon as they get a chance to play, they're going to be hitting shots.
And hopefully we'll get to hear him ask some players, boy, what the hell's wrong with you? If you start making them dumb plays. We see Reptilian already getting pressed up on. 2v1 in the backside of his spawn now. He's going to go down. There's the quick cleanup, and now they might try to pressure home to home, and it looks like Noble, they're going to try to rotate out. Xysho has to pull back a little bit. That's going to give up a little bit of an angle, and you see the 2-to-1 hill split for Rated R. They have kind of the choke points right now. Xysho and Lava, they're about to get crossed out very quickly. They're going to get taken down, and I love this from Rated R. They know that if they can get these kills very quickly, they can keep the numbers in their advantage, and they can actually continue to wolf pack around the map and keep them on the back foot. Lava staying alive for a very long time, but there's both the kills, and now it's an effective 4 versus 2 once again on the map, Blaze. And that's a beautiful job by Rated R. Scavzy's going to get called out here in the juice, but unless Reptile comes away with his kill, it's not going to matter much. It's just going to make it a different 4v2 because the 2 players coming off a respawn, so they're not going to get there very quickly.
The chemistry between Xysho and Reptile. Xysho picks up 3 there. That's 4 members down on the side of Rated R. Noble has 3 members on top of the home hill. They're going to keep player 4 back so he can have that Lancer out, pepper up Cellz. You know, he don't hit too many shots. They'll make it a decap. He actually stopped the capture, but no way in hell Colin Rated R survives this round. Not with this setup that Noble has.
Oh my. Oh my. Take another shot at him. Hit him one more time. Oh my. Oh my. Gearies standing in the front of the hill. Reptile, and look, it's been a while since we've been with y'all. There's been a lot of new skins introduced into the game, and I love seeing kind of the spice and the flavoring, the peppering of all these newer skins. You saw right there First Minister Jin being played, or First Minister Anya, excuse me, being played by Reptile. That Omega Squad Dom right there next to him in the hill, and it's a beautiful thing because you're getting more lore sprinkled into PvE. So I mean, sooner or later, you know a story time's coming right now. We might have the time torture screen, but we know story time is ahead sooner rather than later.
At some point, especially with me and you both casting, we'll definitely be having one. You're seeing the weapon placements. Botox is going to be pretty standard at the lower portion of the map.
Let's go.
But this initial shouldn't vary too much here. You're going to see Rated R. They're going to send 2 players down low. Want to focus on putting some pressure towards Bandstand and the home hill. And with player 4 being Xysho, he gets that call out for his team. They should be able to cap B without any issues whatsoever.
See Scavzy, he's actually had to back down all the way to the bottom of the stairs. Reptile has to pull back to his side of the map, take up a defensive position here. Here's the Lancer. Cell's going to call out that there's 2 of them now trying to push up toward that cinema area, toward the B hill. What will Rated R do? How do you rotate around here now? Because it's a 1v1 bottom. You've got kind of the lurker in the middle of the map, player number 9. That's going to be Scavzy. He's kind of the linchpin here. He might have to throw that flash, try to get loose there on player number 5, Lava, or at least keep his head down and stop them from being able to Lancer out on anybody from Rated R trying to answer the push into B. Because once again, look, this is going to boil down to a single engagement, and it's over who's less patient or who has the better plan. You see 2 players from Rated R are going to push up into the hill. A bunch of downs are coming through. They might have gotten the decap, and see B is getting recapped right now, and it looks like they're going to get that off. Here comes the flashes. Noble's going to push up. Xysho had the Boltok, but is now switch weapons, getting those shots over the cover. A lot of damage being put out. Going to go for that revive. He's going to get it off, but he's going to get a second revive off. He mishops the cover, though. Can he get the next? Can he get the kill, ladies and gentlemen? He knows the call-out's coming. There's the 3rd player from Rated R, so he has to pick up at least 1 to try to even the odds. But right now, home to home, Rated R, they're going to be in this lead.
Man, Xysho knows when his teammates need revives. We saw it over the last 2 maps. He has that awareness on the amount of damage his teammates are taking around him. So when he starts taking routes and pushing towards these hills, he is playing an angle in which he can put out most damage on his opponent, but also be close enough to get those instant revives, get his teammate back into the fight, man. And we saw him almost clutch up on another big play. Now, from kicking off this round, I love the initial that Rated R did, getting some control towards the bottom portion of this map. Now, we'll break that initial down a little bit more as we go into the next round. We'll see how the weapon placement is effective. But currently in this round, you see Rated R in a beautiful position, 40-point lead. They have multiple Lancer angles to watch this B hill if somebody from Noble has the audacity to hop in there and try to go for the decap. Also, they have their bottom lane covered. Noble, that's a good usage of the smoke. They should be able to get this decapture and capture with no problem, probably.
The only problem with that decap right there by Gearies They threw the smoke, they blinded the sight lines, but then he sat in the position that everybody usually sits in to go for that decap. So all that player has to do, a little muscle memory, get the shots into the hill to be able to get that kill. And I'm not sure if that's necessarily good use of the smoke, bad positioning. Even though you get the decap, you still got to get a decap at A. 4v3 on the map, it's not going to be very effective right now, especially with the Voltok being the defensive stand at the home, along with 2 players up here, 1 player up here in the juice being able to lance her down. Yeah, Noble's going to get shut down. This thing is going to get tied up 1-1. And I think what you have to be concerned with if you are a fan of Noble is what does it mean to you going forward that both times that Rated R has been able to muddy the waters, really get in your face, really make it about the shotgun battles, you've come out on the losing end. How do you fix that? You need to maybe put some extra pressure somewhere else, maybe overload one side of the map. I'm not sure exactly how you can best combat that.
Yeah, you know, we see these teams, they don't want to overload this B hill too much because of that Lancer angle from Juice and Info that we kind of saw, you know, Gearies get hit by. Even after he got smoked, he still went down. So with that B hill being open, that's what makes it a scary hill to go capture and overload most of your numbers. But down low at the lower portion of the map, when it comes down to bandstand, it's less open here, but we see him where that's where the focus wants to go for both these squads. And a double kill coming out of here for Noble. You're looking good to start this one off, Colin.
Hey, look, Lava's just happy to get that free 175. Before the round started, he was 0-4, no kills, 4 assists to his name. Somebody rolls out of that juice right in front of him, gets the easy dub, and that's exactly what you got to come away with. Those are little victories, 2 flashes out. I love Xysho backstepping, using the Lancer. Double downs come out. Quick round from Noble. They're going to be able to solidify the triple cap domination. 39 seconds, and it all goes back to that first rollout. I mean, you get that first little misroll, you get killed off, and that allowed Noble to just kind of spring to life. They're going to fly across the map, get into those Lancer angles, really force you to just back up and try to turtle at your home, but it was too little, too late. They end up going down 2-1 now. Rated R, what do you do to answer back? Do you just keep the same old mirrored strategy? Because right now you're being, I don't want to say out-talented, but you're just being outworked around the map by Noble, and something's got to change for Rated R. You can't just keep banging your head against the wall.
You know, I always say whenever I get a chance to play Elo Ace and I'm playing with players that, you know, Elo Ace is nice and all, but you ain't gonna win a check unless you know how to Lancer, throw flashes, and get me shields, okay? You gotta have that crossfire, you gotta have that teamwork. And you know, we see Noble take all 3 of those traits and characteristics, and they put them to good use here, and you know, it's one thing that makes them who they are. Now, coming off this initial, Noble going to send 2 players over here towards this B hill, but with just I want to say, what's that going to be? That's going to be Gearies and Reptile here. The angles in which they have, they are in a prime position to safely defend against any push on their side of the map and defend against this B hill. So the other duos, you know, player 5, 4, 7, and 0 on the bottom portions of the map, these are the guys who are going to have to try to leave their 1v1, take numbers elsewhere, or, you know, take their 1v1, you know, get aggressive, see if they can distract some of these players.
Look at the way that Yachty has to keep his head down right here. Lava stays inside of the info. So if he decides to poke up, Yachty will get all the shots put onto him. The only fight you can really take if you're Rated R is that cinema fight. And look at the way Yachty's rotating over. He might go for the shot up, but they're actually going to cancel out that player in the back corner. They have now marked out Reptile. They're going to have the 2 kills that they need. They're going to get some extra damage onto Yachty, and he's not going to even go down. So now Noble has to answer back. Rotate to the bottom of the map. You know that 2 players are there, and you've killed the 3rd, but they're too slow to the punch. And this is one of the things that actually worries me for Noble is they're not rotating as quick as I'd like to see them rotate around. You knew that you had a 3v1 bottom side of the map, but they stay up top. They're going to try to push back against it. They're going to go after this player inside Juice. Pell, he's going to bounce around. They're going to push him right back out. And now they have to keep Pell's head down because they're going to be trying to retake B on themselves.
And, you know, the reason why I think that is, Colin, is because even when Noble are playing teams like, you know, E United, Rise, and Hive, they've always been a reactive team. You know, they've always been a team that kind of set traps and play off the aggressiveness of their opponents here. But even with one of the newest teams in the Pro League, Rated R, I agree with what you said. You know, when they have numbers, they have to assess those numbers and be aggressors on the map, set the pace, set the tone, force their opponents to play in their hand rather than being reactive and having that defensive play style. Even though they're really good at it, you know, you see as their opponents trying to push them, trying to get these heals, Noble, they're getting kills, but on the flip end, Cellz and Pale, they find two of their own, but Cellz, the last member left on the map.
I like right there what Noble's able to do. Spread out two. Reptile's going to throw the smoke. He's going to take the retro. You're going to have it out. Not sure if they're going to push straight in. They're actually going. Look at the way Reptile took that weird angle. That allowed him to stay in the hill long enough to get the cap off so that he wouldn't get pure lancered. Now it's a 2v3 down here. Any kills you come away with are good. Goes for that little reaction. Won't be able to get it. There you go with the next shot on. Gets the kill. Now Reptile turns around. 2v2 down here. Even though the A hill's going to get taken back, Noble has the 2-to-1 hill advantage. They are going to have the point lead. They're closing in on those last 10 seconds. And Rated R has to get into both hills very quickly. There's one kill. There's the decap at A, but they are nowhere near B as they've been killed off. Reptile with a shot over the cover and a little disco dance. He's feeling like it's Saturday Night Fever, but it's only Tuesday, and it's only day one of Gears Pro League. They take a 3-1 round count lead in map number 2.
Noble, man, they're feeling super comfortable here, folks. Okay, super comfortable. You know, we saw them there playing a little bit passive there towards the mid round, waiting for their opponent to play into their hand. But man, once they got the kills in which they needed, it was a great rotation. They locked in that round, and now just 2 away from taking this series.
Blaze, what Reptile did right there gives a whole new meaning to tap dancing on somebody's gravesite right now. I'm just saying, it gives a whole new meaning to that saying. I mean, the absolute disrespect. Look, if you're in the chat, though, and you want to try to be able to play those shotgun fights, those CQC battles as good as Rated R, if you want to look as flashy as they do, that's a beautiful looking skin. That dark gunmetal gray, almost black on that beautiful red Rated R. That's a very gorgeous skin. If you want to go pick it up, support your favorite players, especially if you're a fan of one of these guys, make sure Yachty, Cellz, Scavzy, Pell, they know about it. Tag them on Twitter. Let them know you're supporting them, you're supporting their team. Let the org know you're supporting the org. Keep them around. Make them love Gears.
And definitely go buy those Rated R skins and support them. And whenever, if a Noble ever gets some skins of their own, you know, definitely scoop those up as well, because I see these guys being around here for a while. Now, off this start, you see a home hill set up here for Rated R. They got F hill, they got D hill locked in. They also got eyes on 3 players on this map. They should know the proper rotation that needs to be made, and we're starting to see Rated R shift down low towards the E hill. They know that Xysho is going to be down there defending it, and Xysho is going to have a retro lancer in hand. You got to be careful as you approach that E hill to capture.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Pell thought he was going to be able to push up, and Gearies waiting to the wings, hits him with a single hit of Quitta. Lava up top. They've got these players kind of trapped here in that middle fountain area. They have to be careful. Scavzy's going to bounce around, about full red now. There's the down. They're going to be able to pick him up. There's the out. You see Rated R has decided to go home to home, but they've had to forfeit up Noble's home hill. Beautiful job by Noble to get that down and out down there in that mid cut as well. I mean, that's just gorgeous. They're going to be able to continue to play some defense, and they're going to try to make this as hard as possible. Already up by about 15 to 20 points, and with every passing second, it's going to get that much harder.
Yeah, it's going to get that much harder indeed. So Rated R to break this hill from Hotel side. They got to get through the lane, through a Lancer and a Retro Lancer that's in the hands of Xysho. So Noble, great setup down low. It's a 1v1 up top between home hills, and you have a player mirroring each other in info and juice for both squads. But this is with the smokes out. This is the smoke being thrown here from Noble, and that's just Gearies have the presence of mind to know that they're going to push, so let me make it as difficult as possible for them. A player down in the back lines. Xysho's keeping the pressure on them. Can't clean up even kill. The rotation down low for Pale is going to save both his teammates and going to get them another heal in E, but with them capturing it, will it be enough? Does Rated R have to overextend for D?
They've got to go for D. I mean, they don't have any choice. Already 20 seconds left. They're not close enough in the points category to try to get away with it. But Cellz with the upfade from Hell gets the down. There's the clear out on the meat shield. Now Pell's going to be going for his own triple cap domination. Xysho shots on. He's not going to be able to get it. They're going to stay in the hill. That will be the second round on the board. And deja vu, Blaze?
Yeah, a little bit.
feels close enough. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but it feels close enough. It's 3-2 right now. Once again, Noble, they've given up their second round. They're going to have those hammies and retros across the map to try to give that extra damage, but this is going to be a very, very telling 6th round for me. Not only what you upgrade, but how you take this 6th-round fight because of what has worked and what has failed for both squads. And I already see the Incendiaries on one side, probably going to be answered back by Incens on the other side, so we have that insta-kill grenade on the map. Right now, Blaze, do you see that coming into play right off rip? Do the people immediately go straight for it?
Oh, 100%. You want to pick up that nade because, like you said, it has that insta-kill potential. It can also block out a heal. You want to get that in your back pocket as soon as you possibly can, but Noble chooses not to grab it. Pale's going to pick up his incendiary grenade. Noble's playing for the capture right away. They will be able to get the capture in a revive and they get out. So don't even need the nade, but it will be available to them when they are ready for it.
You see Pell, incendiary out, but look at all the downs across the map. The kill feed lit up blue for an entirety of a second. Weren't going to be able to clean up, but so much. 2-1 Hill cap in favor of Noble as well. Gearies pushes in. He'll get the shot over the cover, get one. He's trying to turn around. He's got the left hand, though. Has to be careful. Goes for the melee, gets it, and gets the down. Beautiful job to kill both players of Rated R outside of the info now. Reptile pushes up, has been shot on. I mean, beautiful shot by Cellz. He needs one more on the Gearies to get the down. Instead, he gets the headshot for the single-digit kill. You see Reptile pushes into the hill. Not sure if staying here is your best bet, my friend, because Xysho, he's going to roll in, but that's just going to put you in a 3v2 instead of a 3v1.
Yes, it is. And now with the 3v2 Rated R currently have, they need to double back in and get this neutral hill if they can, but we see Lava being sneaky mid-map, has his team incendiary grenade. He picks up a kill, gets it down, can't get the chunk on player 3, so the revive comes through twice. Lava's not cleaned up just yet, can still be saved, and Gearies will do just that. Lava stays alive, and I know he is praising his teammates right now. They're going to cap up this E-hill, and they're going to lock this in. They need to double back and get their home hill, as we can see.
Cellz, cubby corner. There's the extra Lancers in the angle. 70-point differential right now. Noble still wins. They're going to get this decap, which is going to make it that much harder for Rated R to try to come back into this. That E-hill has been very good, very stout for the side of Noble. They're going to be able to mount up the defense, I believe, down here in the middle of the map and force anybody into some really bad Lancer lanes if they decide to come into this hill. Yachty, he's just poking around, trying to find any little opening that he can, but down to just 15 seconds. Last gas push. You see Pell's already been down to the opposite side of the map. That's going to shut this down, ladies and gentlemen, as you see it count down to 5 seconds. Too little, too late. 4-2. 1 round away from a 2-0. 10-4 round count victory for Noble. Can they shut it down right here, right now, and come away with that first victory and split number 2 of our Pro League, Blaze?
Hey, it's looking like it. You already said, are we having deja vu? Because these first 6 rounds have kind of ended similarly to the first map in which we've played. So, you know, if that's any indication on how this one is going to end, this is about to be a quick round here for Noble, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves here. Incendiary grenades on the map. Hammer burst is looking like it's going to get built up to shot grenades, but as we're seeing, mid-map is being hovered. But is this for a big weapon? Maybe nades? Or do they want to go play a textbook and get their shot grenade on the map, and they're going to choose to do just that? Well, actually, they're going to have the hammer burst, so every 60 seconds there. I don't know if that was the play in which they wanted, because in my mind, I don't see hammer burst spawning up every 60 seconds versus the shot grenade to be the better choice. But with no power weapons on the map or nothing center line, maybe the hammer burst on 60 seconds is the better option, Colin.
I'm just not sure what Rated R has really thought they were going to get out of the mirroring the placements. I mean, clearly the generics have put them down in both maps and has put them behind the 8-ball in both maps as well. Reptile's going to finally find a kill there. 2-1 hill advantage. Second shot onto Pell will find the down. They're going to be able to clean him up. Now they need one more kill to really put the rest of Rated R on the back foot. Incendiary over the top is not going to find anybody. There's the flash. Reptile can't go up the left stairs, but that works out in favor of Noble because Noble's spawn point was closer to the opponents. It was actually coming out of that juice, which is where they were having to attack from. So even though you thought you were trapping Reptile, you merely just trapped yourself on the wrong side of that mid-cut, that mid-fountain, and now mid neutral and home hill back in favor of Noble. You can see the 71-72 counting up very quickly over toward the side of Rated R. They're about to get surpassed in the point system, and once again, you have broken down to a base setup for both teams, and you have to get a retake, and Rated R's retakes have not been as successful as they probably would have liked them to be all day today.
You're going to see Rated R try to get some intel on what's happening here in Bandstand. Yachty's going to get marked up. Reptile and Xysho are in a perfect spot to defend, but you can't forget Lava. He has to cross there for mid-juice. Even though he's being mirrored, he's going to play a big part of this fight as these players try to push towards the E-Hill. A lot of preemptive nades being thrown here from Noble. And Rated R with patience, they respond right after, but a quick back A from Reptile. He gets taken out. Scavzy responds with 2, and he should be able to get this E-Hill with no problem. Now his teammates, they need to get across map towards their opponent's home hill and get set up. Try to play their numbers while they can before their opponent come off respawn. I think when you get big double kills like that, you got to make a play. But luckily enough for Rated R, the lead was not too great for them to overcome with just 2 hills.
Reptile's going to be up top. It's going to be with Xysho. They're going to be bouncing down around, trying to find any little opening that they can. You can see that the wind condition is over there on the side of Rated R right now. They have to hold on to try to get this 3rd round under the board to try to get closer to sending it to a map number 3. Flashbang out. There's the Lancer. Now Xysho pushes up. Gets the kill there on the wrap on Yachty. 2nd kill comes through in the middle of the map. There's the quick decap onto E. They have to get into their favor to try to come back. You see that 30 seconds from now, Noble will get the victory, and they are shutting things down very quickly. Gearies with another kill in back cinema, and ladies and gentlemen, just like that, the map has been flipped on its head. Noble has solidified 3 kills in a row. Gearies with yet another one. He's got one more fight to take if he can get it off, but it won't be in time before the match ends. 5-2, 10-4, Noble. They win our first match of Split 2 for Gears, Pro League, and Blaze. What a fantastic showing by this squad.
Oh, what a fantastic showing indeed. Congratulations to Noble. A new look this season. They got 3 of their same core members in Lava, Gearies, and Xysho. And now for the 4th, they got a champion in Reptilian. And it just shows that this team comp is looking good so far against Rated R, and I cannot wait to see their progress throughout the rest of the league.
And it was, I mean, fantastically done by them. And one of the things that we're going to get to see, especially as we go forward, yes, you used to be able to not change up the strat. You used to have to mirror the strat every single round. Teams have got to stop being afraid to just go out of their comfort zone, go out of the norm. Yes, especially because those secondary rifles, they're not being picked up a lot of the times until the 2nd wave of lives. And if somebody wants to go off spawn to try to pick it up, that gives you an extra man in the fight early, especially if you put a power weapon down. So what you need to start thinking about if you're these teams that find themselves down 4-2, 3-1 all the time, and you're losing these neutral fights, which is Nasher, Lancer, Snub, put something down on the map, put some frags, put a drop, put anything. Even though that they've been kind of nerfed with the rocket taken out of it and the less ammunition, it will still change the fight up. It might change your fortunes in a round or 2 to be able to get back ahead of those picks. So, Blaze, I want to see Rated R go back to the drawing board, and I want to see them kind of draw up some fresh looks, some different looks for some teams.
Yo, Colin, very well said. Because, you know, with those 2 extra players being off the map, yes, secondary weapons are powerful, and you don't want to get behind on weapon placement, but regardless of if you already have something down in your secondary, it's going to be a Botok, Talon, Hammer Burst, Retro, Marxa, or some type of grenade. All of those are very viable, even if the respawn timers are not in half. But you said it well. You put something down center line and those extra players are off the map. If somebody picks up those secondaries, they're going to be late to the main weapon in the mid map. So you can still kind of force those fights on the center line if you want to. We seen yesterday in the Challenger series, I do believe it was RR, one of the last rounds, they put a sniper down mid map, and it was a sniper in the drop shot center line on training grounds, and they came out, they ran a 2-2. And the 2-2 was super powerful to, one, defend against the drop, but also, you know, get the long shot, which as we've seen in 4v4 escalation, it's been playing a huge factor in a lot of these team setups, and we've been seeing more long shots and end bars get in place. So putting something down center line and changing it up can definitely help you and your squad. You don't have to go tit for tat with the generics and mirroring what your opponent's doing.
There you saw it on the maps one more time for all of you at home. 10-4 is the round count. We don't even have to see Harbor in our map pool here in match number 1. Noble, they're looking fantastic. They are a team to be feared, if you ask me. The way that they can hold those setups, play that defensive stand, they are fantastic at that. It's kind of their bread and butter, and now it comes to the forefront. It comes to one of those very viable strategies that you're able to sit back, Lancer out, get the downs and damage, and really put your opponent on the back foot. Rated R maybe find themselves not exactly where they expected to be, especially because they had all those extra reps